Hello everyone, today is Thursday, November 15th. It's 3:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The regular session closes in about 40 minutes. My computer clock is on my right here. The time and sales for the Emini S&P, currently trading at 27.28, is on my right here. And it was a really good day for the Autotrader. Yesterday was really good, but I couldn't make a video. I had other commitments. But first up, I wanted to show you the Dow Emini contract is in an open position here. This is using a higher time frame filter of 60 minutes. So we have a closed P&L at 875 and an open P&L of about 200. And we made an equity high of about 1500 here. And our goal on this chart is 2550. So it's a bit on the steep side. So we went long late in the day here, and in the Autotrader, the system is allowed to trade based on times here. So we're allowed to take a trade up to 29 minutes after 3 p.m. as indicated here. And then over here, we exit all positions 1 minute before the close. So this was just under 20 minutes earlier than 3:30 p.m. So it took the long position here. If the market rallies into the close and tests the highs here, then this will turn out pretty good, but as it stands right now, it's just about back to break even. Note on the Heikin-Ashi bars that the close of the Heikin-Ashi is here, but price is actually trading just lower than break even. So remember, with Renko bars and Heikin-Ashi bars, things look a little different than what appears on the bars. You have to pay attention to price when you're using what I call boutique bars. Okay, the DAX on the 16 tick did 34.75 for the day, and I think it hit its goal of 3,500. And indeed it did. This is a limit order with a pullback of 7 ticks, and it first made an equity high of about 2,400 here, and then drew down to a loss of a couple of hundred, so gave it all back and then made it all back again. So quite the volatility in the DAX, ultimately hitting its goal. Okay, next is the NASDAQ on a 987 Heikin-Ashi chart. And this started off with a couple of losers. It drew down about $1,000, 500 per contract, and then came back with 3 winners in a row to ultimately hit its goal. And actually, we had a lot of positive slippage on this. The goal is 1550. This did 1965, so quite good slippage on this. Kind of an oxymoron, good slippage. Okay, the NASDAQ on a 150 Heikin-Ashi tick chart did 2165. The goal on this chart is 1500, so again, positive slippage here. It first made an equity high early on, within a few minutes off the open of about 1,300, and then had a losing trade here, drew down, and then came up and hit its goal with these couple of winners here, especially this last trade, caught this run down, and trading was done in the first 30 minutes of trading, so quite volatile, and ultimately hitting its goal with a lot of positive slippage. Okay, next is the DAX on a 3-minute chart, doing 2125 for the day. The goal on this chart is 5,500, so well shy of its goal. And there was some volatility on this chart. The first equity high was about 800, and then 1,400, and then drew down to minus 700, and then came up and hit its goal from there. Okay, the DAX on a 150 Heikin-Ashi tick chart, some really great looking signals here from the BWT indicators. And this did 2575 for the day, and looks like it was moderately active here. You can see we drew down off the open under $1,000, under 500 per contract, and then it was pretty good from there. You know, there was a couple of losers here, but it grinded its way up to 2575. The goal on this is 2550. So we had a couple of ticks of positive slippage, and these last couple of trades at the end put us up to our goal. Okay, next up is the Emini S&P on a 5-minute chart, and this was quite a performance. I was actually watching this last trade today, and I'll tell you what happened. This drew down about $400 or $200 per contract, and I've got the limits on this set pretty loose to allow bigger moves. And so what happened is this trade was kind of going sideways here. We were in the money pretty good right about here, and then it kind of drew down to break even. And I was thinking of closing the trade, and being happy with, 700 or 800 for the day. And it just goes to show the market broke out. And while this doesn't look like a super big move, from high to low here is about 75 points, or almost 300 ticks from low to high here. But this move here was about 17 points. So we went from 27.17, our entry, and closed out here at 27.34.75. So 17 points on 2 contracts, an average of maybe 16 points. So quite a big move here. Ultimately putting it up to 1912 for the day. The goal on this is 2,500, so just shy of its goal. This probably got trail stopped out at 125 ticks. It's a 5% trailing stop, so that's probably what happened here. And that was it for the day. So quite a nice trade. Moral of the story is that it's hard to second guess the Autotrader. Okay, the DAX on a Super Renko 14 tick again hitting its $2,000 goal, and this started off, our first equity high was about $1,300, and then we had a couple of losers here, but then rallied back up here to hit its goal. Okay, a single trade on the E-mini S&P. We have a goal of 1550, and we came just 1 tick from our goal on this single trade. Looks like my first target is a little bit short on this, so should probably extend that. Only 20 ticks, that's just not right. So I'm going to extend that to about, let's say 60 ticks. And anyway, this chart did really well. Single trade, can't complain about that. 1,500, that's a lot in the E-mini S&P. Okay, the DAX on a 377 Heiken Ashi chart. We've seen this chart quite a bit, and it often hits its goal in a single trade. At least it has this past week or two that we've been showing it. I've seen this quite a bit, just 1 or 2 trades, and our goal on this is 1550, so definitely hit its goal. And that's really great when you hit your goal in a single trade. Okay, next is the E-mini S&P on a Super Renko 4 tick, and it looks like it hit its goal in a single trade here. It's just a limit order with a 1 tick pullback, so there must have been some hard action off the open, and it got filled here. You can see all the timestamps here, 9:33, so it was probably a lot of volume off the open here. Anyway, this got filled here, and it ran up rather quickly, and you can see we exited the trade like 2 minutes later for $1,000 on 2 contracts. So actually had some slippage here of, I think, positive slippage. A couple of ticks positive slippage here. Okay, same deal on the crude oil. A single trade here went from 0 to 1160 profit in about 35 minutes or so, it looks like. Our goal on this is 1200, so probably hit its goal and had some slippage. A limit order with a 4 tick pullback. Note the signals on the BWT indicators. Okay, the E-mini S&P on a 987 tick 3 line break chart had no losers. It had 3 winning trades here and only caught a small portion of the trade, and hit its goal. Well, it came shy of its goal, 1300, and still only traded for the first half hour of trading. Okay, the DAX on a 34-tick line break chart with a Super Renko 8-tick as a higher time frame filter has a goal of 1,000, and it hit its goal in 2 trades here. Well, actually 3. Pretty short profit targets on this, as this is a pretty tight time frame. So 16 and 60 ticks, fixed target, but trailing after the first target by 0 bars. Okay, the Emini S&P on a 1597 Heikin-Ashi chart has a goal of 1,000, so just shy of its goal. Well, it looks like it hit its goal here, but it didn't stop trading. It took a loser here. It must have been just shy of its goal, and then ended up, because it had a loser right here, ended up with 762.50. Okay, the Emini S&P on a regular 5 Renko chart with a higher time frame filter of Super Renko 6 had 2 trades and hit its goal, well, shy of its goal. Goal was 1325. It did 1162.50. Okay, a moderately active chart on the Emini S&P Super Renko 4-tick did 725 for the day. The drawdown here was just under $400 or 200 per contract. The first equity high was almost $400, and then it drew down equally as much and then came up and I believe hit its goal of 750, 725. So hitting its goal with no slippage. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching.